Hi everybody. Hey, I'm going to show you how to preserve your green beans. The holiday's coming up and we always do the traditional green bean casserole. I do it a little different. Of course, mine's a homemade version, but rather than using the soup and stuff. But I'm probably going to skip that this year, and we're just going to have garlic and lemon green beans. So anyways, what I did is I went and bought this whole big package of fresh green beans from Costco. And so we're in November right now, getting ready for Thanksgiving. So normally green beans aren't going on right now. It's not the season for them, but you know, of course you can get fresh green beans that are shipped here, I guess. And then so I got these at Costco. And so this will, of course, work when all your green beans come ripe, or, you know, they're all ready to pick when you have your garden. Or if somebody gives you a whole bushel of them. So anyways, I'm going to show you how to blanch them. And you blanch them and then you freeze them, and how to freeze them so that you can keep them well into the winter. So anyways, just for this video, I mean, I'm going to end up doing this whole package. But just for this video, I'm going to do a small portion of it. So what I'm going to show you here is that what you do is you go through them. Make sure that there's no soggy ones. No nasty brown spots on them or anything. All these look really pretty. I don't see anything wrong with them. Now, we always want to cut them to the size that you're going to need them in your recipes. But first, before you cut them, we need to clean them, okay? So we're going to move them over to the sink and clean them. I have this whole setup in my kitchen right now for the whole big batch. But like I said, we're doing this for the little, a little batch just for this video. But anyway, so what you want to do is you want to clean your green beans before you cut them. Some people will put like baking soda or a little bit of vinegar in the water, which is really good to do. These ones are packaged, so I'm not too terribly worried about them because they've been already pre-cleaned. But I clean them because I'm not sure what they cleaned them with. So anyway, so these ones, if I was getting them from the garden or buying them from a farmer's market or something, I would use the vinegar and everything. So anyways, now we're going to take them over and we're going to cut them now. Okay, so they're all washed up. Now what you want to do is you want to be able to cut these for the type of recipes that you're going to be doing. Most of the time I cut them really small, you know, like for, you know, probably in thirds. Not really small, but I would normally cut them in thirds, like from here to here. But the meals that I'm going to be making, especially with these, is a little fancier plate for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to keep them long. So what I'm going to do is just cut the ends off, and I'm going to leave them long. So I do this to bring them all together so I can cut them evenly. And I cut the ends off. And I put a little towel right here so I can just grab them up real easy. And move these up here. And do this. Okay. Then I'll do the rest here. Alrighty. I have them all cut. They're cut the long way with just the ends nipped off. Okay, so we keep their whole original size. And then these ones here, all the little pieces that we cut off, they're still good for something. So I'm putting them all in a bowl here. And if you just hold out till the end of the video, I'll show you what I do with all these pieces. I'm one for not letting anything go to waste. So hang out with me here all the way to the end, and I'll show you what to do with all these pieces. Alrighty? Now what I'm going to do is we're going to blanch them. Okay, and I'll take you over to the stove. Okay, so now here we go with the blanching period. And then what we do with this, we will add a little bit of salt. Can't tell you exactly how much, but just enough to make the water pretty salty. Then I would say maybe a tablespoon with a half gallon of water. I always eyeball everything, so it's a little bit hard for me to tell what exactly the measurements are. However, if you want to skip the salt, you can. It's just part of kind of like disinfecting the food, because you really don't know where the food came from. And then plus it helps with keeping its body, you know, the form of it, and it brings out the color in your green beans, and it's just a good idea to do. So what we're doing here is we're going to blanch, and we're going to blanch them for 2 minutes. And I set my timer, and then we're just going to let these heat up, and I like to call it disinfect them. But we're going to let these blanch for 2 minutes. And then when that's done, we will drop them into ice water to stop the cooking process. So I'll come right back to you when they're ready to come out. Okay, we are done with the blanching. It's been 2 minutes. So I just take the tongs and I put them in the ice water. This stops the cooking of them. And if you have small pieces, like if you've cut them up really little, just use a slotted spoon, and that will catch them a little bit better. This one's a little hard to get because I don't have that big of a batch in here, so I'm kind of fishing for these guys. But I didn't want you to have to sit through a whole big batch of me doing it. So anyways, with this, okay, then we're going to do them for another 2 minutes. Okay, and then when we're done with that, I'll get right back to you. Okay, there we go. They have cooled off for 2 minutes in the ice water. And we'll fish these all out. And then we get these all out. I'll get them all out and get right back to you. Okay, now look at that. Nice and pretty green. And they're nice and cool right now. They're pretty green, and then they're like fresh and clean, ready to freeze. So what I do now is I take a towel and I place them on the towel in their long ways like this. And we need to get them dry before we freeze them, because if we do the freezing and there's a lot of water on them, it crystallizes, and sometimes the freezing doesn't make them very appealing. And then I roll it up like this, and then I let them sit for a few minutes to grab all the water off of them. Okay, so we're gonna kind of hurry here, and then I take paper towels and absorb any more that I can. Go back and forth on them. So you get all the water off of them. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to freeze them, and we're going to take a tray like this, covered in parchment paper, and move the green beans to the parchment paper and spread them out. Okay, spread them out like this so that they're not, it's okay if they're touching, but we don't want them piled on top of each other. And this is we do this for the reason so they don't turn into a big clump. Okay, so it's like this, and then this is going into the freezer for at least 2 hours. Okay, so when that's done, I'll come right back. Well, I got them out of the freezer, and miraculously, they're all chopped. No, not really. I forgot I had these in the freezer, and I had chopped them because I'm going to make a soup with them, or not a soup, but a pot pie. So, anyways, these particular ones are chopped, and the other ones I just put in the freezer. So, anyways, these ones are like this, and then all you have to do is take a freezer bag that you take a freezer bag, which this one I don't have one handy. So we're going to put them all together and put them in a freezer bag. And this is just a regular sandwich bag, but I have transferred over to a freezer bag. So by freezing them ahead of time and then putting them in a bag after they're frozen, it will keep them from sticking together. Because if you put them in there the first time when they were all really wet and everything, put them in there, you're going to go pull them out and they're going to be all stuck together. This way, when you've already froze them and you put them in there, all you have to do is open it up and take out what you need. Put your cup in there and take out what you need. And they're all going to be loose. And they might stick together, but if they do, just hit it on the stove or hit it on the counter and they'll all come apart. They'll stay apart. Alrighty. So that's how you blanch green beans. So one of the reasons that I'm showing you this stuff is because you save so much money by buying these in bulk. And for what you pay for this is like the price of 5 or 6 cans of green beans. So, and then plus they're fresh and there's no additives or anything like that. Now, what I had told you that I was going to tell you that what I do with the end pieces is that the water that we blanched it in, I take that and I put this in that water. Now that water that I put in to blanch them is filtered water, and then of course there's the salt in it. Well, when you're all done with cutting and you have all these trimmings, I've got asparagus in here too. I'm going to do a video on asparagus. But when I'm all done and this is all full, then I'm going to put that in that same water. And then I'm going to cook them for probably a half hour to 45 minutes, maybe even longer, maybe an hour, and put it on simmer and make a vegetable broth. And this vegetable broth that you make with this is so much more nutritious, so much more tasty than what you buy in the store. And you can just separate it and put it into other baggies and stuff. I'll probably show you the process on that. And it's super good to do this. And you can use that broth for anything. Anytime it calls for chicken broth or anything that you have that option of putting vegetable broth, you'll have it. And vegetable broth is expensive in the stores. All those broths are. And you basically make it for free because it's the scraps of what everything you've got left. So don't throw it away. This is money. So don't throw your money away. So anyways, I hope that was helpful. And I hope I was going to say hope to see you soon, but I don't get to see you. But anyways, have a good day, and please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe. Okay?